Welcome to the Nintendo Switch's lock screen. Isn't it super exciting? What's up guys, Andre here, and as you can see, we are finally checking out the Nintendo Switch. So we've already unboxed it, so it's time to check out the Switch console itself, or the operating system rather, and we're starting off on the lock screen. So you're going to see this every time you turn on the Switch, whether at home or on the go. In this case, we're playing at home, of course, because it is docked, hence how I'm capturing video of it. And you can see it provides some basic information. Top right shows your battery level. We're mostly charged, and it's charging right now because it's docked. There's a Wi-Fi symbol showing your current connection strength. There's a clock, and then over on the left is perhaps the most interesting thing, being the featured news. Because the Switch actually has a news service or a channel, whatever you want to call it, that actually provides news, news updates to your Switch. And on the home menu, it will actually show you some of the latest ones, which you can, if you're playing a handheld form, you can actually tap right on them, and once you unlock the screen, it'll take you right to it, which is kind of neat. As far as I can tell, though, there's no way to access that news specifically from when playing in TV form, but I can't choose it. But if I press plus or minus, it will take me to the news channel or news page. So yeah, let's go ahead and unlock the screen and get right into the action here, being the home menu. And here it is. This is the home menu. So we've already seen this before in the Switch presentation, as well as a few other places. But yeah, you can see we have Breath of the Wild right there, as well as 11 other game slots not currently filled, because I don't have any other games. It's so sad. Poor Zelda, being all by itself, all lonely. But you know what? If there's one game to have, it's Zelda, right? So beyond that, in the top left, you have the profiles here. And what's interesting is, it doesn't seem like you actually log into a profile with a system. Instead, you choose on a per-game basis. But if I choose Zelda here, it's going to ask what profile I want to start playing it with, which is kind of neat. You can even add a new profile while you're right here on the screen. In fact, I'll show you the process real quick since we're here. You can set your icon and nickname, and there are a bunch of icons. So we'll go to, and there's actually more than this. We'll go to more options here to see the whole array of them. And it default us to a Luigi. The first default was Mario, but I already chose that one, I guess, So yeah, here are all the icons for making a profile. I like the 3D World drawn ones, hand-drawn ones. We have a bunch of Zeldas. We've got Twilight Princess. Or Zelda and Links, I should say. We've got Twilight Princess Link. We've got Wind Waker Link. We've got Breath of the Wild Link. And we also have my main profile icon being the Guardian. And I love that look of his. It looks like he's completely shocked. He's like, why are you taking my picture? He's completely caught off guard. So let's go ahead and choose one here. You know what, let's go with, oh, you can choose a me too, by the way. I don't have any me's added yet. So we'll go with Marie, being the best, of course. The best of the Callie and Marie sisters. And you can change the background color here. There are also quite a few options. So we'll go with, I already chose cool GameXplain blue for my main profile. So we'll go with orange. Yeah, that seems red hot for Callie there. Or Marie. God, Jesus. It's been a long day, I'm sorry. So forgive me, Marie. Alright, we're going to enter, I don't know, we'll enter a test, so I don't want to keep this in my profile, on my system rather. And there we go, we now have 3 profiles, and from what I remember, I think you can add 8 profiles in total. So that's pretty neat. So that's just an easy way of making new save files if you want, because if you start playing Zelda under a different profile, you have your own set of save files. Yeah, and you can easily access them from up here. Just tap on one if you want to access its options, and including, changing the profile and everything we just did. You can link it to a Nintendo account, which, by the way, doesn't work right now because, as you're going to see, it needs an update, a day 1 update, and the day 1 update's not out yet. Maybe because it's not day 1. We're like day negative, 9.8 or something? Day minus 9.8. Beyond that, we'll go back to the profile page real quick. You can also check out the friend list. Again, that doesn't work right now, or we can't even add a friend right now because, again, no system update. It needs a system update. And then, yeah, there you go. So let's go ahead and move on to start. We'll start checking out the, actually, you know what? We'll save this for just a moment. There's something else I want to show you first. And that's the fact there is a quick menu you can access. Okay, actually, I'll show you one of these real quick. So let's go to the news real quick. Now, if you click home, it'll take you back to the home screen, of course. But no matter where you are, if you hold the home button, it'll pop up a quick home or a quick options menu. So to show this off, to better show this off, it's kind of silly to show it off on a home menu because it gives you the same access to the same options. Let's go start up Breath of the Wild. Now I know what you're thinking. You can't show that off yet, and you're right. We actually can't show off Zelda yet until tomorrow. However, as part of the preview, Nintendo is allowing us to show off a few minutes of the title screen. It's not much, but hey, it's something. You gotta take what you can get, right? So we're gonna go show off exclusively to you right now Zelda Breath of the Wild's title screen. Bam, there it is in its glory. We can see it's version 1.0, 1.00, like the Switch itself. And yeah, we can see some options here, but again, I can't choose any of them because I can't show you any of that yet. But there are a few different, title cards here, which is cool. But no music. I think some sound effects, maybe. I can't barely hear it, but anyways, maybe there's nothing going on. But I want to show you the thing I wanted to show you, being if you tap the home menu, or rather, okay, it takes you back to the home menu and it shows you you're still playing it. So let's go back into it, and if we hold the home button, it brings up the quick menu, as I mentioned before. So this is handy if you want to see how much battery life you have left for your console, if you want to see what time it is, if you want to see if you have Wi-Fi. You can also go to sleep mode here as well. So you want to put the console to sleep, this is how you can do it. You can also just hit the power button as well, on top of the system. And then you can also access airplane mode as well. And then it shows you your controllers you have connected to it. So there you go. It's kind of handy, but yeah, not a ton there. So let's go ahead and go back to the main home menu. And you can also change users quite easily by tapping Y. And then you have to close the game first to do so, though. And then you can log in with a different user. So we'll keep an Andre though. Oops, and now we're going back, which I don't want to do, so we'll go back to home. Anyway, so let's go start checking out the rest of the stuff here. Starting with news. So this is a news channel I already mentioned. There are quite a few news stories that already come built into your Switch. So that's pretty neat. And more will be added to it as once you connect online and once you get that update. We can already see there's a blank spot there for another story. So we'll go and check out a few of these, but I'm not going to read them too in depth because that will take forever. But I'll read this first one to you. The latest news direct to your Nintendo Switch. Oh, I like that direct. Oh man, I miss Iwata. Alright, let's go on. Welcome to news. This is where you'll find all sorts of information about Nintendo Switch. What kind of information can you expect? Probably stuff like this. Sales and special offers on games, videos of new and upcoming games, news about gaming events. So basically a lot of stuff about games. We'll also have news about your Nintendo Switch console itself, including tips and updates when we add new features. And that'll do it to start. But we'll probably have other kinds of news in the future, so just stay tuned. And you can opt in to receive those automatic news updates, but that requires the update, as I mentioned. And apparently these updates are written by someone called Amelia. Huh, I wonder who that is. Now you can hop between news stories with the left or right shoulder buttons. So if you tap right, we can go on to the next one right here, and this one talks about the Nintendo eShop, which again, we can't access because of the lack of update, which is a little bit annoying. But it tells you about all the stuff you can buy. It's chock full of games for every kind of taste and budget, which is always nice. And yeah, so let's go back out here. We'll go through all these real quick. If you want to read this for yourself, you can just press pause, but I'm not going to read it all. But this shows the update procedure. I like all these little pictures here. Bowser gets the honor of putting in the dock, and now everyone is playing Mario Kart. How nice. I like Luigi's little dance there. So yeah, again, if you want to read this, press pause. There's some interesting stuff in here, like how to charge your console, like how you can use the dock or the USB cord directly itself. This one's talking about the screenshot feature, which is pretty cool. In fact, I'll show you this right now. So there's a button on the controller. If you tap it, it's on the left side, it's opposite the home button. It takes a picture. And you can take a picture no matter where you are. Take a picture in-game, on the menu, no matter where you are, you can always take a picture. It's awesome. And it tells you right here, you can store up to 1,000 pictures on your Switch itself, or up to 10,000, or I think an additional 10,000 maybe, with a micro SD card if you have that inserted. Alright, we'll show you more of that in a sec. So here are the quick settings, which I just showed you. If you hold down the home button, it brings up that in-game home settings. It's telling you about tabletop mode and how you kick the kickstand out. And it even tells you, which is useful by the way, that if you pop the kickstand out by mistake out of your Switch, you can pop it back in pretty easily. Which is good, because it feels like the kind of thing that could pop out really easily. Speaking of the kickstand, the micro SD card slot's right underneath it. So if you're wondering where to put your micro SD card slot, that's where it goes. Or not your slot, your card. Here it's talking about the parental timer. So, and this is where you can use a Nintendo app you can download to your smartphone. Unfortunately, it's not available yet. I checked. Maybe it is by the time, whenever you get around to watching this video, it is. But we can go ahead and configure parental controls. We won't do that quite yet. So we'll move on. And then if you have any questions about Nintendo Switch, you can go to support.nintendo.com/switch/explore. But again, that's not up yet. So, but hopefully it should be by day one. Alright, and then I like how she's talking about a genie and the world's biggest cake. I want a genie and a cake. Actually, I'd rather the genie, but I can get infinite cake then. All right, we're getting off track here. So let's go ahead and back out to the home menu again, because that's all the news. And there is the eShop link. So I'll try it, but I can promise you it's not going to do anything, because it's going to require an update, and the update's going to fail on us, because there's nothing to update. Or there is, but it's not available yet. So moving on to the album. This is where all your screenshots go that you take. And this is actually the one place that you can't take, that you can't take a screenshot of, I think. Or maybe you can here, let's find out. Yeah, you can, it won't let you take one here. So yeah, you can see all the pictures you've taken. I've taken a bunch of the menu, and I had to do that to push all the Zelda screenshots off the page. Otherwise, those will spoil things in the game, which I don't think you want to see at this point. So yeah, let's go and click on one of these. And we can edit and post it. So let's press edit and post. And let's try, let's try clicking post. And it requires an update. But this will allow you to post it to social media, like Twitter and Facebook and all that. So that's cool. So even though we can't do that, there is something else we can do, which you may have already saw on the previous screen, and that's we can add text to it. I don't know why I freaked out there. This is like the 4th time I made this video, so I'm just really excited now. I just want to get it done. So let's go ahead and we'll write test on this one. So we don't want to keep this picture. So there's our text. We'll accept it. And then we can change its font size, but we want to go big because we're screaming, right? We can change the position and angle. The left stick moves it around quickly, whereas the D-pad and the right control stick do it in increments. You can also use the shoulder buttons to spin it. Woo! All right, we're going to put it down there. Change the font color. We're going to go GameXplain blue, but that's rad. And then you can't change the stroke color, unfortunately, as far as I can tell. So yeah, there you go. And there it is. So you can share that to social media, which is cool. Alright, let's go back, and then let's go and try and deleting something. So we'll delete items. We'll delete 2 things. And yeah, you can see I have 73 pictures already. And bam, deleted. Alright. So what is actually really cool about the album feature, though, beyond just taking pictures to show off to your friends, it's really useful for just keeping track of stuff. I've been using it for Zelda, as I mentioned, just to keep notes. So like if someone told me something, like an ingredient or a recipe, or where to find something, an item, I take a picture of that using the snapshot button. Bam, got it there, ready to check later. It's super useful. Alright, let's move on to the controller screen. Here we can see all the controllers we have synced to the console currently. Right now it's just a Joy-Con. You can also see their respective battery levels. So you can change the order of the controllers if you want to change like who's player 1. So you just press left or right on the controllers. And then since we're here, let me go ahead and do that for my Pro Controller too. My Switch Pro Controller. Unfortunately, I tried connecting a Wii U Pro Controller. It did not work, so you need a Switch Pro Controller if you want to use that. So technically, we have 3 controllers connected right now, but the Joy-Cons do count as 2 separate controllers. Alright, so let's go ahead and get out of here. We can pair new controllers too, which we kind of just did. Actually, well, we've already paired them. So yeah, so for Joy-Cons, all you have to do is slide them in, and they automatically are paired if you automatically just by connecting them to the Switch console itself. That's super nice. For the Pro Controller, you connect it via USB cord if you want, or you can hit the sync button on top of it. So that's another way of doing it. Alright, let's get out of here, and I think that was it for controls, right? Yeah. So let's go on to system settings. And we'll check out everything here quickly. So we have support and health and safety. It's not that exciting. But what is kind of cool is there is an error history here, which if something happens, these are all internet connection issues, including the one we just saw here a few moments ago. It keeps track of the errors you have. So that way, if you need to call Nintendo support or something, or if you want to do a Google search for your error code, you can just type it in and it'll tell you more about it. Or you can tell Nintendo where your error code is and they can help you better with it. So yeah, that's pretty handy. Pretty nice. You don't have to write it down right away. Okay, here's some options you can't access quite yet. There's airplane mode. You can't use it while connected to a TV. But that just turns off all the wireless settings on your Switch, including your controller settings, which means, which I think you can reconnect them afterward while still keeping it in airplane mode. But we'll just shut them all off immediately. You have screen brightness. Again, can't change it in TV when connected to the TV, but in handheld form, it has the same variance of like a typical cell phone, including an auto brightness feature, which I believe changes depending on the ambient light around you. There is a screen lock, which is a thing you saw me at the start of this video. You can turn it off though, so it will take you, I think, right to a home menu, presumably, or right to the home menu. Next up are parental controls. So in this case, yes. Oh, so apparently we have to close the game to access the parental controls. Now, in order to make use of them, you can either apparently you can use an app, which I think you can access them at any time, which is nice. But the app's not available yet, which I think I may have already mentioned. I can't remember. I made this video like 4 times, which I can't remember if I've said that already, which I may have. So that may be super redundant. But I just want to get through this. So yeah, smartphone app's not available yet. So we're gonna move on to using the console's features. And here you can set the restriction level, including what type of games you want your kid to play, including custom levels, where you can even set. Let's see here, a bunch of individual settings here, like the level, like which age range of the software specifically, which I don't even know if the ESRB gets that specific, but hey, there you go. And you can even change which region it applies to, because there's different, rating systems around the world. You can restrict it so your child can't post to social media. I won't do that, but I don't want to screw myself later. You can turn off communication with others, and then you can also restrict purchases online, although it looks like you need to do that from the app as well. So we'll go and move on. And we set a pin code if we want, but I don't want to set a pin code, but again, I don't want to screw myself later. So we're gonna back out of here. Alright, and we'll move on to the next setting, being internet. Yeah, it's your internet settings, you set up your Wi-Fi, exciting stuff. Here's data management. So by default, it came with, I believe it was 25.9 gigabytes originally. It's down slightly now because of those screenshots I added, I think. But yeah, so the operating system takes up the rest of the 32 gigabytes of space that come with your Switch. It also shows you your micro SD card spot there, or available space there if you have one plugged in. I don't. You go manage software, you can see Zelda's currently taking up a whopping 0 megabytes. So I guess we can delete it too somehow, even though it's not on here. It's a cartridge. I don't know what that's about. It also shows that we played it in the last week, which is kind of neat. And I guess, I don't know what those other icons are down below. Is that like playtime or something? It's not showing anything right now, so I don't know what that's about. Let's go to manage data / screenshots, so we can manage the saved data and delete it if we want. So it's taking up 64 megabytes per profile, which is interesting. And this profile, by the way, has done nothing. So it seems like it is a flat, just a flat rate for your profile, no matter what you do. Always 64 megabytes. We can manage screenshots, manage individual screenshots. Oops, actually we don't want to show that because, oh okay, it's not showing it yet, but I don't want to show you those Zelda screenshots. But there's another feature here in this album I want to show you that I didn't show you before, and that's the fact that you can sort the screenshots, including by the game that you took them in, which is super neat. So if you want to easily find your Zelda shots, just go to sort, there you go. Alright, let's get out of here again. Alright, let's go to users. So this is basically the same stuff you've already seen. You can change your nickname, icon, all that. So it's just an easier way, or another way of reaching that same stuff. Here's your me. There we go. You can send or receive a me to other people who have Switches nearby, which is neat. And also, you can easily import one if you have an amiibo, if you saved it to an amiibo from your Wii U or 3DS. Speaking of amiibo, here are the settings for it. Like registering an amiibo, deleting an amiibo data, or resetting an amiibo. Not terribly exciting. This is all stuff you can do on the Wii U, but there you go. All right, here's something interesting: themes. There is a theme on or an alternate theme on the Switch. There's a basic black or basic white one, as well as basic black. So let's go to black. Now, since it is called basic, I'm guessing that means there are going to be more themes coming, like on 3DS. And it'd be cool if they had their own like sound effects and music too, also like on 3DS. But for right now, there are just 2. We'll keep on black for now. Notifications: you can turn off download complete notifications, friend notifications, as well as notification sound. I guess you can do that if you want like a super immersive experience and don't want anything interrupting your game time. But I think these could be useful to have, so I'm going to leave them on. There's sleep mode, which you can set individually for when you're playing on the console or on the TV. I turned it off of the TV, but I don't want it turning off on me. But when you're playing on the handheld, that could be useful because you don't want to accidentally leave that on. And then you can also, this is something interesting, this is off by default, but you can have it suspend auto sleep while it's playing media content, like presumably Netflix, which isn't available yet, but apps of that nature will probably come out sooner than later. So this will prevent them from, or this will prevent your system from turning off while watching a movie or something. Alright, moving on to controllers and sensors. Again, here's some of the same settings we've already seen. You can change the grip / order, you can turn off controller vibration, you can calibrate control sticks by clicking the stick you want to calibrate and then just moving it around. You can also check out, you can also calibrate the motion controls, which I won't do. You can also test input devices by just tapping on buttons and seeing what's working or not. So that is handy, again, if you work at Nintendo, like I did, like I used to. This would have been useful to have if someone is having a problem with a button. You can ask them to go to the screen and see which button is or isn't working. Alright, let's go and get out of here now. Oops, I went too far back. Let's go down to... yeah, looks like that was it for control. Oh, you can disconnect controllers too. So... Oh, you need to remove it from the dock to proceed, which makes sense because you have no way to interact with it otherwise. Alright, then we have TV settings. So we have TV resolution. You have all the main ones here, including automatic. RGB range between full, limited, and automatic. You can adjust the screen size in case it doesn't quite fit on your TV. You can turn on screen burn-in reduction, so it automatically dims the screen after 5 minutes. Change the sound between stereo, mono, or surround for the TV. And yeah, so let's go and move on to system. There's a system update option, again not available. You can change the console's nickname, language. You can change a region, because the Switch is region free, and there are 4 regions to choose from between Japan, the Americas, Europe, and Australia/New Zealand. So that's nice. Change the day and time, which by the way syncs automatically over the internet, thank God. So no more manually adjusting for daylight savings time. Then we have system sound for when the console is connected to a TV, so between stereo and mono, I guess. Or I guess that's rather, I think, when it's disconnected from a TV, I think, which makes sense. Then also, this is neat. If you unplug your headphones, the sound will automatically turn off or mute, which is nice. That way it's not blaring sound on a subway or something. Then we have serial information, end of user license agreement, intellectual property licenses, and wireless e-label. This is all boring stuff, so I'm not going to show it all. I mean, like, look at this. There's a bunch of goobly-gop. And I think that is it, guys. That is our Switch tour. Oh, and sleep mode. Hold on, I'm not done yet. And now you can enter sleep mode if you want. Also, you know, I can't remember if I mentioned this. I mentioned the quick options by holding it down, but which also allows you access to sleep mode. But if you keep holding it down, I think it brings up another menu, maybe? Oh, maybe not. Okay, I think if you hold down the power button on the system itself, it does. So, in fact, I can probably do that. Actually, I don't want to do it, but it might turn off my recording. So, but yeah, guys, there you go. That's a black theme on the main menu. And let's go into Star Up Zelda again while I wrap it up here. But that is a Switch OS. So, what do you think of it? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's lame? Let us know by posting in the comments. Yeah, I mean, it's functional, definitely. It's quick. It's super quick. System starts up really fast and responsive, even from a cold boot, but the system's always usually in sleep mode anyway, so it's really fast then, and it'll let you pick up right from where you left off in the game too. So it is super nice. Anyways, there you have it. That is our full tour. I'm running out of steam here, but I've tried making this video like 3 or 4 times now, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please do, especially because we'll have tons more of coverage on Zelda Breath of the Wild and the Switch very soon, specifically tomorrow for Breath of the Wild. Alright, guys, catch you later, and have a good one. Bye.